everyone. Welcome you to the Healing Hearts TV podcast. Welcome to yet another edition of the Healing Hearts TV podcast. My name is Khalid Kizito, and today, first of all, before we dive into the conversation today, I would first encourage everyone to subscribe to this show, to subscribe to the Healing Hearts TV podcast. For those who are scrolling, you can just scroll, just put in the Healing Hearts TV Yugi. You'll see a little very young man. Then you have to subscribe, share, and then you literally get such conversations like this. Today I have a very important guest. Makerere University is known for producing leaders. Today we also producing emotional safe spaces for our students, and today I'm joined by the FIDA President, Makerere chapter. Today, before even we go to today's topic, I would like her to introduce herself. Welcome, madam.
Thank you.
And you need to hear a little bit of your brief background about you. People that are watching us would like to know who you are. I think that is it.
Well, my name is Napkenya Jennifer Chirabo.
I don't know if you need to increase your voice.
My name, one thing for sure is I'm a Luton speaker.
Yeah.
So shouting.
Me too, I'm struggling.
Yeah, okay. My name is Napkenya Jennifer Chirabo. I am a third-year law student at Makerere University. Currently, I'm the FIDA president for the Makerere chapter, in addition to being the legal writer of Rule of Law and also an assistant editor for a club called WOLA, Women Leaders of Africa.
Wow, you've had the introduction, and that means that we have the right person to speak with. Yes, thank you very much, and you're very much welcome to this show.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, just feel free. We're going to just have a little conversation about gender-based violence. Yeah, now Healing Hearts TV podcast, the reason why we're interested in such conversations is that we are trying to create spaces that people can heal, can speak. We speak about issues concerning mental health, emotional issues. So here, this is a safe space for people to heal, and that is why we bring such conversations to life. Yes, I want to start from what comes in your mind when somebody speaks about gender-based violence. What, apart from the topic we're going to talk, going into the laws, as we lawyers, we want to go into the law, But before even we speak to that, we want to know a brief background, basically, about just gender-based violence.
So gender-based violence is harm as against one individual to another, and it is very important to assert it as it being harm, because usually society, what people are used to is it being from men to women, but ideally it's individual to one individual, because women too,
I wanted to hear that.
Women as well perpetrate violence as against men. So you cannot stand on one side and say, gender-based violence. You can't have a biased stand, because it cuts across, because women too sometimes are violent as against men, as much as it's prevalent in comparison to men against women.
Wow, I love that. Yeah. I love that. Because personally, the gender-based violence today has been, when you talk about such a thing, very many people think of women, things to do with somebody's sex, and and to some extent, that is how it has been painted. But I've loved the fact, the way you've really brought it. It's okay, you can continue with your introduction.
So, gender-based violence, like I've said, it's an intersection between men. We have to deal with this and get to the core of it. We have to understand that it's not a biased activity, because very many times, say now for women, usually a woman will stay in a very abusive environment for reasons such as you're scared of starting over, you've been depending entirely on this man, and then men will also stay in these abusive environments for reasons such as what will society say? Who do I talk to? You can't start asserting that your wife is beating you. How in the world is your wife beating you?
Man.
And also gender-based...
Sorry to men that are being beaten.
No, not like that, but like how society takes it. Like it's inconceivable.
How will you tell
that,
people?
Yeah, and so people end up getting trapped in spaces where they can't seek for help because yet again, gender-based violence extends beyond physical violence. It can go into a very abusive environment for reasons such as you're scared of starting over, you've been depending entirely on this man, and then men will also stay in these abusive environments for reasons such as what will society say? Who do I talk to? You can't start asserting that your wife is beating you. How in the world is your wife beating you?
Man.
And also gender-based...
Sorry to men that are being beaten.
No, not like that, but like how society takes it. Like it's inconceivable.
How will you tell
that,
people?
Yeah, and so people end up getting trapped in spaces where they can't seek for help because yet again, gender-based violence extends beyond physical violence. It can go into emotional abuse, a lot of things whereby you have a partner or someone that's constantly abusing you, they're demoralizing you, and all those kinds of things. It can go to online violence whereby a person spreads the other person's intimate pictures. So it's a really, really, really broad
subject.
Yeah,
very good. Very good. Yes, thank you very much. I've loved the way you've introduced it, and the fact that you've said is something very broad. I want to, first of all, because we're at campus, I want to literally ask you something. Have you heard of some cases of gender-based violence around campus?
Unfortunately, yes. I have heard of very many cases, and the one I can start with is the one we saw, the girls that were fighting the conflicts. Then you can find people judging you that
I saw the
then there are friends that will be coming to you and they're telling you they're being beaten up in relationships. People are being emotional.
But what was the cause of that thing?
I don't want to say what I don't know. So I'm not really sure. Okay. Yeah, so you can find people being emotionally abused, people are getting depressed like crazy, because depression and anxiety are some of the very, very many problems youth face, and not like in a campus environment. You can find that due to violence, it could just be a statement someone makes, body shaming, and it drives someone crazy, it affects their esteem and all such kinds of things.
What is body shaming?
Body shaming is ill comments on someone's physical appearance, which I totally disagree with. Please never body shame anyone. What I believe is that after time you're telling me about my body, there is nothing I do not know. Yes. I live with this body. I wake up every day, look at myself in the mirror, dress up a certain way. And just because it doesn't please you, doesn't mean you should call it out, because all of us have our imperfections. And for goodness sake, body shaming should stop. It should stop.
Yeah, to continue about, you spoke about depression, and these are common things, especially at campus today. These are things that are very common that people, that students most especially, are dealing with. What are those things that you feel sensitively are the causes of things like depression and anxiety? You've talked about body shaming, but also we need to speak about other issues that really are very critical at campus, most especially, that cause depression and anxiety issues.
No, there are many. Because if I'm to use like law school as a sample space, there can be a bit of academic pressure. Because imagine, like all of us come from high school, you know you're sharp, you know you're bright, you're aware of your potential, and then sometimes you can come to law school like these crazy expectations of what you can and can't do. No, it's like new environment, you have to adapt to all these things, and the transition, first of all, from like high school where you used to like routine, you know what you're going to do in the morning, during the day, but here you are with like this say unlimited time, then you have academic pressure, then social interactions. So academic pressure, I believe, is one of the biggest.
Academic pressure is weird.
The academic pressure. Then some people can deal with pressure to fit in and being accepted, because some people are driven crazy by rejection, in that you're in a new environment, you don't really maybe have solid friends per se, and all those kinds of things. Then of course there is relationships and how sometimes they end up turning out badly, and not like in such an environment. Of course that takes a toll on the young people. Then for some people it can be financial pressure, because because people joke a lot about makerere being a place of hunger. It's crazy.
Yeah. Last time we saw before, I don't know, was it last year? Last year, where people are dying of hunger. That's so sad.
It's crazy. So the financial pressure, and it's a lot to deal with, because I think university is the first. It's university launches us into adulthood. Like your parents have been holding you like this all your life, and now university let go.
Launches you into the new. Welcome to the new world. That's empty.
Wow, you're in charge of your life, your decisions, and you well know half the things you're deciding now can potentially affect your future like crazy. So honestly, being a young adult is not a really easy thing. Like there is a lot.
There's a lot that comes about. Yeah, I've talked about relationships. Relationships. Most of people are broken. You need to speak about it. You don't have the experience.
It's not funny, let's say, and I'm not so sure how much of my experience I can share concerning heartbreak, but maybe whoever could be going through it, I promise you there is light at the end of the heartbreak tunnel.
Yeah.
You will heal.
You will heal.
You will heal one step at a time. One step at a time. Maybe one thing for sure is you need to accept the whole process as it comes. Don't run away from your emotions. Process it fully, like sit with it, because I think sometimes it's hard to process things because you want to break up with someone today and be fine tomorrow, which is not going to happen, because interestingly at campus there is more heartbreak in things such as situationships and friendships.
What is situationship? That is a new term.
So a situationship is like something that mimics a relationship, just without a commitment. Like here we are vibing, we are chilling, we are spending loads of time together, but we are not really together. And the biggest issue is
we are in a situationship.
You're like in a situation. There's usually one person more invested than the other. So it's crazy, like, but most of those things are like bedrock for heartbreak. So just sit with it, go through it. Don't deny your emotions. Sit with it. If you're lucky enough to have a friend to walk you through the whole process, have that friend and just live. Try and live every day, because life is bigger than a relationship, really. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. And I would ask on that issue, dealing with Gen Zs, it looks like we're almost not understood. Because for example, if where does someone really have to run? Being you a leader, you can answer this more better. Where does a person really have to run? Facing all these things, facing all these gender-based violence, as we've talked about. I mean, running to someone may not even be an issue, but where they feel they can open up and they're not judged. You see, you can go to someone and you tell them, this is what happened, it's happening in my life, and all they tell you, it's your mistake. And Gen Zs want to be very understood. So I would ask, why should, especially at campus, especially, we're not even speaking about campus, we're speaking in the daily life, where does someone have to run?
One, when you say Gen Zs are really highly misunderstood, I think that I can relate with, because I believe as a generation we actually work differently, we relate to things differently, we approach things differently, and so you'll find that one of the biggest problems, first of all, is that there is this, say, generational gap between us and our parents, because our parents low-key had this structured life, okay, in as much as yes, they faced challenges, etc., but there is a whole thing of we have a lot more in our hand.
Yeah, by the way, when you talk about that, I'm sorry to interject. Today, when you tell a parent that you're going through a heartbreak,
It doesn't make sense.
because for them, by their time they used to be told, if you want to get married, you have to, what do you do? This is the man. Over you don't love them. You have to just go with them. If things are tough, you have to kuguma. That is what they were told. Now for us, we are in a life whereby it's try and error. You have to try this. So when you tell a parent today, really, I'm going through a heartbreak, you know what happens next? Nakutuma kusoma. You see? And then today when you tell a parent you're going through depression, someone will tell you there is that common statement is on so how can you tell me you're depressed? So this is how critical these matters are. So you're still continuing, are still on that.
However, even still, I think I really want to acknowledge some parents. Some parents are really doing a very, very good job to be there for their kids and all those things, because not like I was saying, there is a lot of there's a generational gap. However, what I think someone would most probably do when they're like having a hard time, thing is, I believe so much in the power of good friendships, because the problem is sometimes we think our suffering is unique to us, and I don't know that that's like insensitive or not, but honestly speaking, there is nothing under the sun we are ever going to go through that no one else has been through. So if you have, I call it a privilege to have good friends, to have friends that can genuinely understand you, hold space for you, do things for you. Because I want to refer to, there's a TikToker, she's called Kabera Angel. She was sharing her story on TikTok, so I guess it's okay to bring it to TikTok. And she's sharing and she's saying when she lost her parent, her friends knew who she was. In that they knew you can't enter Angel's house and it's dirty. You can't enter Angel's house and her sink is full of dishes. Like they knew her, like our friend is actually clean and organized. So here she is, she has lost her parent, because most times in such circumstances, you never know what to tell someone. What are you going to say to them?
Very true.
But she said she really appreciated her friends because they didn't care to like do away with what was happening, because they can't do that, but they held space for her in that they would come help her clean her house, clean out her sink, make sure she has her favorite things in the fridge. So that kind of being seen and being known just by like your friends can go a long way, whereby, because honestly the biggest, once you start thinking your suffering is unique to you, you're going to be stuck in that cycle, because out there is help. Out there is help, and I don't think, okay, you can know like 20 people and you don't have like one genuine friend, like at least there will be someone willing to look out for
someone you can open up to.
Say you're at campus, a friend in class, because sometimes stress can get to you can barely understand things in class. Someone to like bridge that gap for you, like class wise, could be a financial problem, and like they don't have much but they are willing to help you out. So really, suffering is not unique to anyone. All of us are going through the same stages, experience differently, but please seek help. Like there is, talk to your friends if you can, even if you have like trust issues.
Talk to friends.
Yes, like just cultivate solid friendships, people that can like carry you through really hard times.
There's another thing I really encourage. There's something that came in my mind, by the way, even when we talked about this gender-based violence. We both from law school. And I've not seen, maybe, there was counseling units. I used to see counseling units when days in high school, but I don't see such things. Don't you think they're important? It is that.
There is a counseling unit next to Mary Stewart.
Yeah, there is that one, but I also think, don't you think it needs to go even to college based?
That would be very good.
Yeah. Actually, it's something I'm advocating for. If somebody is really watching, really, for example, like we've talked about law school, there are very many, we can't be here and we pretend that people are not suffering. That we can't be there and say, you see, but people are facing things. I also would really advocate for for those units, because they're really very, very, very important. Yes, let's continue with the conversation. One thing I wanted to really